Welcome everyone. It's the 2016 Real Reviews Holiday Wrap-Up. We're sitting here by the toasty fire, and we're gonna tell you our favorite movies of 2016. As well, we're gonna give you a little preview of what we're looking forward to in 2017. And let me tell you, it's a pretty good year.
It was tough to choose. There's too much. It's getting better and better, let me tell you.
We did it hard on ourselves because we did everything by category. So first off, let's go through 2016 with our favorite action movie of the year. You go first. We don't know each other's answers, by the way.
So we discussed the categories, and then we chose our own movies. So we don't know what we've picked. I went through the year of Real Reviews. So I went through our entire list of movies that we reviewed, and action, the one that stuck out on top was Magnificent Seven.
That's mine too. That one did stick on top. Yeah. Man, that was a fantastic movie.
Yeah, like obviously hadn't had a Western in a while. So that, and then with the cast, Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke. Like, yeah, the list goes on. And let me tell you, awesome movie.
It was definitely one of my top 3 favorites of the year. It was funny. It was, like you said, action-packed. I was on the edge of my seat the whole movie. I loved that whole movie. I thought they did a fantastic job. Antoine Fuqua did that movie, who did Training Day and a whole bunch of others. So yeah. Go check out Magnificent Seven. It's obviously gone from theaters now. Yeah. But when it comes out on video, that is definitely one to check out.
Second movie.
Favorite animated movie. This I know this is different. I know this is different.
Well, if you guys have been watching the Real Reviews, we've done a few animated movies just like, you know, towards the end of the year. And so the one that obviously clear winner, Kubo and the Two Strings.
I picked something different.
Oh,
he's gonna
that's
think I'm
crazy talk.
You picked Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah.
I picked
Zootopia. I knew it.
You did?
Yeah.
Zootopia, I thought, was one of the best Disney movies that has come out in years.
It was. Like, it came out and it cleaned up at the box office. For not being a Pixar movie, straight Disney, I thought it did some damage.
It was, because it wasn't just I liked it because it wasn't a musical. Like, I don't mind the Disney with the songs, blah, 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 but it was something they haven't done in a long time. And it was just like a mystery movie. Yeah. And it was funny, and it was sweet, and it was endearing, and it was longer, too, for an animated movie, but I could sit through the whole thing. My daughter sat through the whole thing. We loved every second of it.
Zootopia was so very good.
It was they did very good on that movie. It's such well done. And Kubo! It was close. Kubo the Two Strings is something special.
So for me, I'm not the type of guy to go out and get a soundtrack for a movie. And I went out and I, like, iTunes, picked up Kubo and the Two Strings. Something about it. And like you said, if you watch the review, it's just the culture and the way that they tell stories, so very magical, you know? Everything about the story was so good. It just pulls at the heartstrings.
The work that they put into this is absolutely insane.
The stop animation.
It's animation. It's not just a computer in front of a computer screen. They actually build sets,
models,
this high.
And then they move them every few inches, take a picture.
It's absolutely insane. Like, what they say, like 2 minutes of movie is like a week's worth of work.
Yeah.
Like, that's
something
insane.
Crazy.
I don't know how they do it. And of course, you're probably like, what's Kubo and the Two Strings? So many people always say that. Like, what's Kubo and the Two Strings? It's the movie, one of the best reviewed movies of the year that nobody saw. It barely broke even at the box office, which is so disappointing because I feel so bad for those people. You can clearly see the work that they put into it.
Yeah.
And it paid off.
Come award seasons, Kubo's cleaning up.
But on to the funny.
Yep.
Let's do a little funny comedy.
We picked the same one.
Are you sure? Oh, probably. But mine's, I think it's a little unconventional because I don't think this was really dubbed a comedy. Maybe a little bit.
I had trouble placing it too.
But I'm like, I clearly laughed the most in this movie.
We picked the same.
We went to a few comedies like Neighbors 2. Yeah, a few of those. You know, I've seen like Bad Moms. But
Boss.
There's one movie I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
In a few parts of this movie.
Nice Guys.
Nice Guys.
Nice Guys, of course.
I cannot say enough good things about this movie.
I think the reason why I placed it in comedy was because of how much we laughed.
The chemistry between Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling
Yeah.
is amazing. It's a fantastic story, written and directed by Shane Black, who did Iron Man 3. And again, we're going to go this again, it's probably one of the best review movies of the year. Did anybody go see it?
No.
No. And I was so disappointed that this one bombed at the box office. It did not deserve that at all. There's so many bad movies that made way more money than this.
Yeah.
Independence Day. But of course, that made millions of dollars and this one didn't. What's wrong with you people? You should watch our reviews more often and listen to us.
It's true.
Because we know what we're talking about.
That's right.
And stay tuned because after the break, we got some more categories, maybe a little action, maybe a little blockbuster, maybe a little scary. We'll have to wait. You have to come back and see. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Real Reviews year-end wrap. We're going to go through some more categories of our favorite movies of 2016.
Yeah.
The sad part about what we do is we don't get to see a lot of the smaller movies because we always do what the most popular movie is 95% of the time.
I wish, like Kurt and I, we spend a lot of the time at the theaters.
Yes.
Like we are a high like we live at the theater. So it's not like we're not seeing the smaller movies. It's just, I think like early on in the birth of Real Reviews, we decided, or you decided that, you know, it was each week the movie that was kind of like the most anticipated,
most
the big,
anticipated for everybody.
So I wish we could do more like of the smaller movies, but unfortunately, there's not enough time.
I'm cultured. Don't let this goofy expression and face fool you. I'm a cultured person. But that's why we added a category called Blockbuster, because we see a lot of blockbusters. So favorite blockbuster of the year. I got a feeling.
You go first.
Yeah, I'm picking, this is where I think our split's gonna come in our personal lives. I'm picking Captain America: Civil War as my favorite blockbuster of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Batman vs Superman.
I knew it. I'm a Marvel guy. He loves his DC very much so.
Sure.
I personally, nothing that much against Batman vs Superman. He loved it. I thought it was mediocre at best. I thought they could have done a way better job. But Civil War was beyond my nerd expectations. I went into this one thinking, okay, I'm always excited to see a Marvel movie.
Yep.
But the things that they showed me on that screen, when you have Team Captain America versus Team Iron Man, there's a schism in the Avengers.
Yeah.
This wasn't an Avengers movie.
No.
But all the
This
Avengers
is Captain America, yeah.
But the best part about this movie was Captain America has, I think, the best movies in Marvel, and it still felt like
Hands
a Captain
down,
America
yeah,
movie.
for sure.
And plus, you get to see Spider-Man, you get to see Black Panther, you get to see Avengers versus Avengers in literally a half-an-hour battle at an airport.
Yeah.
What more could I have asked for?
Yeah.
This was eye candy. This is my childhood playing out on the screen. I just loved it. Like, you remember like, when you're a kid, you'd all pick like your character.
Yeah.
You run through the playground like, I'm Wolverine.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
for sure.
Like, this is like, I get to see what I was imagining
Everything,
back when I was 7 years old.
It wasn't all perfect, but I'm not going to get into it.
Some movies
then
can't
you
be
can't.
all perfect.
And then Batman versus Superman. Okay, so highly debatable. For sure. I mean, people
We
are
still debate this
people,
movie.
and like it, not just me and Kurt, but like people on the internet, they still bring it up. And you know what? It's gotten to the point now where this was released back in March.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously the DC fans have really just sunk in, you know, pushed their heels in, and they're pushing back against the critics or the other, you know, fanboys. Time to bring in the DC universe.
It is time. I agree.
And to me, it wasn't a bad movie.
I'll blame 70% of it on Warner Brothers and 30% of it on Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Because he makes this movie. I don't necessarily agree with some of his visionary elements of
For
it,
sure.
you know?
He's really stuck in the 300 days, you know?
But when Warner Brothers gets their little test groups together and they're like, well, you don't like this, we're like, we need to change it.
Yeah.
If that 5 people don't like it or one executive doesn't like it, then we need to change it because nobody's going to like it.
Yeah.
You know, have a little faith. They need to have a little more faith in their directors.
Yep.
and they need to have somebody running the ship, which they have now. They have their own. Marvel has their president now. DC has, and I think starting with Wonder Woman next year, you're going to see a completely different product.
Yeah, we'll get into next year.
Yeah.
We'll get into next year, but let me tell you, I'm excited.
So am I. I'm glad DC's around. I really am. But that's enough blockbuster. Let's move on to drama. Mine's recent.
Me
and
too.
I know yours is too. There wasn't. We didn't even get to see many, but what we did, this was by far the best.
This rocked our socks.
Yes, it's The Arrival.
Oh, so good.
Oh, starring Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner.
Yep.
It's about aliens.
Yeah.
And I'm not even gonna call this a sci-fi. It is science fiction, but this is what you take out of it is more feeling of a drama movie than some sci-fi weird adventure or anything.
Yeah.
This movie was so good that you can not be a fan of sci-fi, watch this, enjoy it, and then sit and discuss, because I think everybody takes away something different from it.
Yeah.
You start the movie as these aliens coming down, so you think it's gonna be sci-fi, which it is for the most part. And then in the third act, it just takes this twist, where it's about life and relationships and love and everything. And you just sit and I remember sitting in the theater when it was over and the credits rolled, and everybody just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
And you kind of
Nobody moved.
Nobody moved.
Yeah.
Everyone in the theaters kind of sat there, absorbed it all. I'm sure there's some people who are like, this is stupid. But you said you were thinking on the drive home. My drive home, I was thinking about it. I started to tear up a little bit. I'm laughing myself. I'm like, what's going on? I don't cry in movies. I wasn't even in the movie. It was afterwards. That's kind of the effect that this movie had on me. I thought it was brilliant. It's so smart.
Yeah.
That's why I loved it. I love a good thinking man's movie.
You get those movies that just have a script that just blows you away, that is an absolute thinker. Best drama, I thought, by far this year.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And close to the drama theme. One of our favorite categories, horror movies.
So again, you don't see a lot of them. You might see a few dribbles throughout the start of the year, but then October hits and then boom.
They usually suck.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee we have the same answer. I can 100% guarantee, because mine's The Conjuring 2. Easily.
Yeah.
Probably our favorite horror movie was the first one. Not ever, maybe, but in the last,
close,
at least the last like
top
3
5,
years.
easy.
We've been waiting for The Conjuring 2. We've been waiting for years to have a good scary movie. Mm-hmm. And The Conjuring 2 delivered. Just as good, I think, as the original, which doesn't happen very often with the sequel.
So you have James Wan back, the director. He's our boy.
Yep.
And I think the reason why we enjoy this so much is because we're a huge fan of like Ed and Lorraine Warren, like their stories. So again, before, like Kurt and I, we've read like a few books, a few of their stories, things like this. So when we'd found out that they were doing the Enfield haunting, we'd actually watched a mini series. On like the BBC or like something, like some British one.
I told you we're cultured. We watched the BBC.
So we watched that first, and then obviously we went into this. So we knew the Enfield haunting before the BBC. We watched the BBC and then we did the movie. But like same cast. The cast is phenomenal. Yes. Like, I love the people who play Ed and Lorraine Warren. Again, you can't say enough about the director. And then the story, like it's another just, it's a haunting, scary, sometimes demonic story. So
the one thing I will say, it wasn't as scary as the first one.
No.
It was definitely creepy and made me jump, but you overlook that because it's so well written and well acted. That there's a reason you don't get horror movies. I don't like bringing up Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. But
I don't either.
It's very often that you see horror movies get
scoring
that high on Rotten Tomatoes, and both of them have almost close to the same. That's James Wan. James Wan is your go-to horror. He
loves his scary stuff.
Horror after Paranormal Activity, like the first one. He made Insidious, any kind of scary movie you think he has something to do with. He's either a producer, it's his studio, he's the director. Anytime you see him write and direct a horror movie, make sure
you need to go,
it. Stay tuned. Coming up, we'll have our last category for 2016, and we'll start our look ahead to 2017. We're going to pick our best movie of 2016. Stay in your seats because it's so exciting. welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. We're on to our favorite movie of 2016.
Yeah.
Is something that we've already discussed. This was close. There's so many.
Yeah.
All these movies that we mentioned are so close to each other, but the one that just eked out, and I honestly never thought in a million years that this would be my favorite movie of 2016 before I went and saw it. Mine's The Nice Guys.
Yeah. Easily. Like, it's going to be something from our list because obviously these were the top movies of 2016. So, like, obviously best overall 2016. It's something we've already touched on. For me, Kubo.
Kubo
gets the title. Yeah.
Kubo gets the title. I'm just gonna go on record. The Nice Guys. This movie's so good. I'm a buddy action movie fiend. Lethal Weapon. I guarantee I've seen each one over 20 times. Guaranteed. Anything like
Rush
that.
Hour?
Rush Hour, I enjoy. I even
Shanghai Noon.
Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights. So when I saw this, and the first thing that came to my head when I left the theater is like, this could be a new Lethal Weapon series.
I hope so.
But like I said, nobody saw it. Like it's too little, too late now, people. You're gonna watch it on video because we told you to right here. This is my favorite movie of the year and one of the best of the year. And you're gonna be like, man, that was a fantastic movie. Too late, man.
Too late.
It came out back in May. It didn't make its money back.
Yeah.
What can you do anymore?
Son of a gun.
Son of a gun. But I honestly, I will 100% put the Nash stamp of approval.
Oh, there
it is,
guys. Yeah.
That doesn't come out very lately. Let me tell you something.
For me, like I'm not gonna say anything more about. I love Kubo. You know this. Everybody knows it. Go if you haven't seen it, just watch it,
Your
please.
Your kids will love it. I guarantee it.
Everybody grew up with Claymation Rudolph. Everybody grew up with Claymation something or another for Christmas, and it's those Claymation / stop animation. It's so dear to your heart. I guarantee you, Kubo, it's gonna get you. Just go out and watch it.
It's gonna get you. So now we're off of 2016. We're gonna look forward to the future. 2017. We did the same thing. We picked categories. We don't know what each other picked. And let me tell you, just looking through of every month what's coming out.
It was tough.
This is an insane year.
It was tough.
Absolutely insane year it's coming out. But I narrowed it down to my favorites or what I'm most looking forward to.
Not me. Like I made my list and there's like 3 or 4 movies in each category. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna be picking one.
So let's start off with animated.
Okay.
This was there's so many. My kid has turned me into a Despicable Me fan. And the third one comes out, but I'm like, no. I'm gonna go with the nerd in me and pick Lego Batman.
See, I had it on my list. I had it on my list because I was going through and I couldn't find a lot of animated movies. There's maybe 5 that I ran into.
Someone looks so stupid. I seen like an Emoji movie. Like, come off it.
No.
Come off it.
I went off the list. I found this animated movie that is coming out that I'd never even heard of. It has Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Cera, and George Takei already.
What?
It's called Crimson Samurai. And it's about...
Never heard of it.
I know. I've never heard of it either. It's about a dog that is trying to clean up his neighborhood from like cats, like this gang of cats that come in, and it's all done like feudal Japanese style. So like samurais. I was like, that sounds awesome. Like, what is
Sounds
there
like
not
Kubo.
like? Yeah. So I was like, here we go. That's top of the list right there.
You go one by. I have never heard of that movie. Lego Batman, obviously.
Lego Batman.
It comes out in February already, and
that was my second one.
It looks hilarious. Will Arnett you've seen Batman introduced in the Lego movie, so he gets his own. Lego Batman's been around for years though. He's already had like 3 video games.
Yeah.
Kind of his own like straight to video Lego movies, but this is his big screen, so they got the heavy hitters, and I can't even say there's gonna be wicked special effects or wicked animation because it looks like Lego.
It's all Lego.
It's all Lego.
But for me, like if it was on the radar, I never really, took much attention to it until we saw the first full trailer, like back in November.
Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Robin says, rip,
like I said,
he keeps ripping off his pants.
The part that got me was like, there's Alfred and he's talking to Batman, and Batman's never Bruce Wayne. Like even when he's in his cave, he's swimming with his cowl on.
He's still wearing his cowl. Yeah.
So Alfred's talking to him. It's like, you need to take care of your ward, and then it just shows like video footage of like this guy just like wee, and he's on like a dining room table. I was like, that's hilarious. And that's what got me. So I'm excited for it.
It looks over the top funny,
Yeah.
and I love Lego. So what's not to like? Lego Batman comes out in February. I bet you when is Crimson Samurai supposed to come out?
It was projected first quarter. And I say first quarter because I'm not too sure if I read it in January, February, or March. So it's one of those 3 months.
Well, interesting. All right, on to the action.
Yeah.
I know this is different. I guarantee we have a different movie. Mine was anticipated, but it was in the back of my head.
Okay.
Because it's coming out at the end of summer.
Right.
But then some news dropped recently that it got pushed up to May.
Oh.
Look at him! I know it. Alien.
See, I had this in my horror.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it could be construed as either one.
Yeah.
Because Ridley Scott is back making Alien movies. Alien Covenant. And it's not a sequel to Prometheus. Some people like this. He didn't like Prometheus.
I did not.
love Prometheus. So Ridley Scott was signed on to do a sequel to Prometheus, and then on the other side, Neil Blomkamp had a wicked idea for another Alien movie, where he's bringing back Sigourney Weaver and the cast of Aliens. Fantastic idea. Studios behind him 100%. Internet's behind him 100%. They're like, go for it. Studios like, yeah, let's make this movie. Ridley Scott comes along. He's like, you know what? I'm not making Prometheus. I have a different idea called Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
It's still set in Prometheus. It still has some of the characters from Prometheus.
Michael
Fassbender's character, but it's an Alien movie now.
Yeah.
But Ridley Scott is back making Aliens.
I can't really roll my eyes because Prometheus left such a bad taste in my mouth that as soon as we were like, oh, there's a new Aliens, I was like, please just let it be like the original. Like the originals, like the first 3 or 4. Like I just want more Aliens. Just, Space Marines going out, blasting aliens. That's what I need. For me, I went more sci-fi. I went with Valerian.
Yes.
Valerian and the City of 1,000 Moons or Galaxies.
We'll
it's a long title.
Long title.
But yeah, so this has been so hush-hush that they just released their first trailer, last month, 2 months ago. But I mean, it's been in production since probably early 2016. Like, it was weird that we hadn't heard anything about it.
Very secretive.
But after that first trailer, let me tell you, if you're a fan of the Fifth Element, this is what it looks like. This is the new Fifth Element.
Well, it's the same writer and director as the Fifth Element. He doesn't do too many movies.
But just a lot of the look reminds me of the feel of Fifth Element. So I'm really very excited for this one.
There's lots of neon and lights and explosions and...
But here's my prediction. I have a feeling they spent a lot of money on this.
I had the same feeling.
I have a feeling it's not going to do well. Again, I'm hoping for it. I'm excited for it. We're gonna see it, obviously.
Stay right where you are, because we have more look ahead of 2017 coming up in a short 2.5, 3 minute break. Woo. Welcome back. We're going to continue our look ahead into 2017 with our pick for our most anticipated blockbuster movie.
This is the big one. This is the one.
This is the one?
Yeah, I think so.
What's coming out next year? This is ridiculous. We got Justice League. We got Wonder Woman. We got Guardians of the Galaxy. Flipping so many.
The list goes on and on.
But
there can be only one.
There can be only one, as Highlander would say. And I'm sticking with the superhero theme. But my personal favorite superhero, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Ooh.
This one, we saw Spider-Man in Civil War, Tom Holland. He is awesome in that short little snippet we saw of him as Spider-Man. This Spider-Man Homecoming, it's a little different. It's kind of like another reboot, but Marvel has it now. Not Sony.
Yeah.
Marvel got to write the story.
Very interesting.
Marvel got to have their hands into everything, which is fantastic. This one is a little different. It takes place, Peter Parker's in high school.
Yeah.
And Marvel says, just like Marvel does, they said, you've never seen a superhero movie like this. They wanted to kind of make it like a teenager movie.
Yeah.
But there's rumors flying around that the villain Shocker's in it.
There's too many rumors.
But
There's too many villains.
Rumors. But we do know for sure that Michael Keaton is the main bad guy.
Yep.
And he is playing Vulture.
Vulture.
And Vulture seems like a weird choice as a
Yeah.
villain. But when they said
when you look at his cast of rogues, to pull Vulture
out of anywhere,
you
we've
know?
never seen him on the big screen, but Michael Keaton playing Vulture.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man Homecoming, he's literally one of my favorite superheroes. So anytime a Spider-Man movie comes out, I'm all for it.
I'm going with Power Rangers.
Really?
Yeah, okay, so let's get something straight here. Power Rangers, they've been around here forever. Like back when I was a kid. That's 20 years? 20 plus years?
20 plus years.
So Power Rangers, all of a sudden they announce, Hollywood announces, yeah, we're gonna do a movie. And right away I was like, that's a bad mistake.
I know, I think
everybody had the same idea. Like, that's not a good idea. And that's just because you've watched it over the past 20 years on TV.
Even
it
the
looks
TV
so
show
bad,
stupid
right?
for the most part.
Yeah. Obviously, they're kind of aiming, I think, more at our generation than anything, because we knew what Power Rangers were like growing up, but now that they've matured it, they made it look, they've cleaned it all up. It's nice and like shiny and polishy. We still haven't seen what the Zords look like. Which I'm still waiting for. I thought they would be released. They've released what the toys look like.
Yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't really mean anything to me. Like, I want to see what they look like. I'm really excited for this movie. I think that it will probably kill in the box office. I think it's going to make so much money. And I don't know if there is anything planned for 3, 4, 5 movies, but I think that's what have said. They've come out and
Probably.
said if it does well, you're looking at another Transformers type deal, 5-6 movie deal. But
I think they did go the smart route of making it more mature. Because like you said, that intrigued me and you.
Yeah.
In our age, because like you said, they said Power Rangers. I'm like, stupid idea.
yeah.
Stupid idea. Shouldn't have done it. Then I watched the trailer. I'm like, wow, that's intriguing. But it's enough where maybe the teenagers are now watching it and be like, oh, that intrigues me as well.
Like, it doesn't have to be this joke type TV show. This actually looks legit,
Hopefully it's legit. Power Rangers. Never again where I thought you'd pick Power Rangers. But I think Spider-Man's going to be better. Speaking of funny things, comedy.
Yeah.
This was hard.
Very hard.
Mine's weird. I'm picking Baywatch.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that comedy?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Guarantee. The Rock, Zac Efron
Yeah.
are in it, and Zac Efron, I think, ever since Neighbors, I think he's a funny dude.
I like
he's a
Zac
funny guy.
Efron.
And The Rock.
We've talked, and The Rock is awesome.
The Rock is awesome.
Yeah,
He's
two
hilarious.
very solid
Dwayne
guys.
Johnson.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's about. Haven't seen the trailer, but I've seen they keep posting these cheesy cast pictures.
Yeah.
Everybody with their shirts off and like flexing.
Then Zac Efron tripping while he's running and stuff like that.
Yeah. And they're having a good time. It's gonna be a fun movie. Hasselhoff's gonna be in it for a little bit. That's probably the worst thing I've heard about that movie. But I think it's just gonna be all around just sit back, relax. We're gonna have some good
Summer
laughs.
comedy.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I went with so I had 2 on my list, and they're still up in the air. So I figured what I'm gonna pick. Goon 2.
Oh no way!
Yeah, the first Goon. So Sean William Scott, Stifler in American Pie. He did his American Pie stint, and then Hollywood's just been so hard on him. They gave him some leading roles in a few other movies, which bombed horribly. So all of a sudden he just kind of disappeared. He's not leading man material, blah blah blah, which is unfortunate. I really liked him. And then this movie came out called Goon, and he plays a hockey enforcer. And so,
but he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's the nicest guy in the movie.
He's the lovable idiot, but he's just a maniac on the ice.
He gets picked up to protect this star player on this not a professional, semi-professional team. The player that he's picked up to protect doesn't like him, thinks he's an idiot. And so throughout the course of the movie, he can't play hockey, he can't skate. The only time is when he's on the ice, is when he's out there to fight. But you have the sequel coming out. Now, there hasn't been a lot said about it. I think he makes it to the professionals.
I think he goes to the pros.
So he
in this
goes
one.
pro, but obviously it's kind of like paralleled with in today's like NHL. Like, is there room for enforcers? Is there room for fighting? Everybody needs to be like a two-way player. So I think the movie Goon 2: Last of Enforcer, that's what it's called. It's kind of, you know, foreshadowing if there's any place for him in pro hockey. So
Let's go the opposite of funny now.
scary,
Scary movies.
our favorite.
Again, there's a few. The one thing about scary movies, they always come out of they're made so small budget that you never know they're coming out till like 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
or a month before they even come out. So lots of them you don't. You know, I know there's the Friday the 13th reboot.
Yep, on my
There's,
list.
Rings,
Yep.
which I think looks dumb,
Yep.
but
Beware the Slender Man.
Beware the Slender Man. Does Underworld count as a horror? Resident Evil. That's always like dicey. But the one
That stands out above them all.
above them all is the remake of It.
Yes.
I still to this day the TV. This was a TV miniseries.
Yeah.
Still to this day scares the heebie-jeebies out of me. It definitely does. The one complaint I have about it watching it now, it still scares me, but the special effects are awful. They don't hold up whatsoever. But it was a TV miniseries,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
I don't think they even expected to get as popular as it did. And then lo and behold, they're remaking it for the big screen. Now, there's been some behind-the-scenes shuffling,
Yep.
but they did end up filming it. The one thing I don't really know is if it's going to be 2 parts, if they're trying to cram it all in one movie. I have no idea. Are they doing like the young kids in
Yeah.
one movie, the old kids in another movie? Are they mixing it
I
up?
really do hope that it's one movie. I wasn't a fan of, like, obviously with the TV miniseries, you had to do kind of like a part
Yeah.
A and part B. But if you have to give me a 2-hour and 45-minute It movie,
You'll watch it.
do it. Like, give it to me. I don't want a 2-parter.
I recently read the actual
Yes.
book
Yeah.
because I said to myself, I never read it. This thing's like 1,200 pages,
Yeah.
and it's good.
Yeah.
Like, it's good. So I'm hoping because they're putting in theaters and not on TV, they're
That
gonna
there's
go
more book
Oh.
stuff and less, you know, TV reference
Like,
stuff.
for saying that they held back on TV, I can only imagine what they're gonna put into the movie. Because it's not completely different, but me personally, I kind of want 2 movies, but I don't want them like split up like young and old because the book actually doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It mixes it up. It is gonna scare the pants off me. I really hope it does. It's gonna get me just if they have the creepy clown.
For sure.
I cannot
yeah.
stand those creepy clowns
Yeah.
at all. So oh man, please
Here we
be
go.
good. Please be good.
Yeah.
But we still have to wait till October. The worst part about 2017 movies is you still got months and months to wait,
Man.
which is awful. But guess what? You only have to wait a couple minutes to find out what we picked for the movie in 2017 we're most looking forward to. So stay tuned. And we're back. It's now time for 2017. We decided a new category because it was tough. There's so many blockbusters. You don't really see much about little movies coming out.
Between the blockbusters and drama, like we took out drama because they're not
Couldn't
because we
find
don't like it, but because they don't really advertise drama movies.
No, you don't know what drama movies coming out.
The
in
only
November.
drama movies you see advertised are the thrillers, and
Yeah.
that's about it. So for us, it was tough. So we substituted that.
We had to cop out and go with sequel/reboot because
Yeah.
God knows there's never enough of those in a year.
But again, another big category.
It is.
You know?
When you start looking at it, you go first this time.
Okay, this is gonna blow your socks off.
And I'm sure it will.
You're not even gonna know what's coming.
Okay.
It's a remake. Flatliners.
Really? You think
Yeah,
Flatliners?
yeah. Okay, let's get something straight here. Out of blockbuster sequel/remake, you can go with something that everybody knows is going to come out. Like, we could have
It's
talked
true.
about anything, and it wasn't really surprising. But Flatliners, I bet you didn't know there was a Flatliners.
I knew.
So if you don't know what Flatliners is, it's an old 80s movie.
It's the
Kind
one
of like
where
a
you
drama
watch-
thriller.
It's one you watch when you're younger. You're like, oh.
Yeah. And so like Kiefer Sutherland was in it, the original, Julia Roberts. And so like they're a gang, not a gang, they're a group of kind of science, like college scientists. And they figure out that you can die, like there's kind of like a life after death. So they end up killing themselves on purpose.
Not like anything gruesome. It's
No,
like
more like shock therapy.
Yeah.
Like it shocks your heart to stop, and then you see how long you can stay dead for, and before they bring you back. So, like you said, it's an older movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Like it still kind of holds up. But for them to be redoing it, I was like, here we go. Like that's a really good movie. I'm excited for.
They better have a good cast.
Yes, that's what I think. That's kind of the main thing. Like obviously, if you're doing a remake, the story's already there. Give me a good cast of solid actors, actresses. We're good to go.
Even young actors, because all those guys were younger than
When they
us
did it,
now
yeah.
when they did that movie. But you knew who they were.
Yeah.
Like I remember, like when I'm 10 or 9 or whatever, and that movie came out, and I can look at the case and be like, oh, there's Julia Roberts, Kiefer Sutherland.
Yeah.
You know, I want the same kind of thing. So still do young cast, but still do names that are worth
We know.
knowing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about Flatliners. Make it creepy too.
Yeah. Well, you know it will be. It will.
It better be.
Yeah.
It better be. Flatliners, man, you just
Boom, eh?
throwing the curveballs left and right. Mine's
Yes.
a little more straightforward. Probably not what on most people's list, but I absolutely love this franchise since it's been rebooted and reintroduced.
Yeah.
And part 3 comes out. It's the new Planet of the Apes.
So good.
So good. Like again,
Man.
this is one of those things I never thought in a million years. I remember
Are you
reviewing
a
it.
fan of the originals?
No.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I think they're
Like
stupid.
they're so old and look crusty.
I know.
And, like look so bad.
I mean, like, I don't care about Charlton Heston. Damn you, you damn dirty apes! I tried watching a few of them. Like these are
Yeah.
awful movies. I thought, and
Yeah.
then the Tim Burton one, whatever,
Mark Wahlberg.
not that great. So when they're coming new with them, I'm like, oh great, let's screw this up again. I remember seeing the first one, and I thought, whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
This
James
movie-
Franco.
Yeah,
He's
James
Caesar.
Franco and Caesar. This was amazing. Tugged on the old heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
It was heartwarming. Second one came out even better than the first one. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then the third one's coming out, War for the Planet of the Apes, and I cannot wait.
So it looks like Caesar's kind of more or less gone the crusty way. So like
He's getting grumpy.
he had fought the old like scarred up monkey in the second one.
The second one is kind of showed us how, like, it's apes and humans. Humans are really scared of apes right
Yeah.
now, but a few apes become friends with a few nice humans.
Yep.
But then you find out there's bad. This is like
bad
culture.
monkeys.
There's bad apes, just like there's bad people. So
Right.
it's kind of like a war. They're like fighting each other, but
Yes.
it's not convoluted or anything. But it was a fantastic story, absolutely fantastic. And the thing with these movies is they always have like specific time jumps. Like you don't,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long the period was between the first and the second one. I don't know how long it is between the second and third one. But like you said, Caesar, the lead ape,
yeah.
is looking a little, he was so, there's always
Like, he's
hope.
upset with
there's
humanity.
like hope in him in the first few.
Yeah.
And now this one he's kind of,
He's like,
gone
let's
grumpy.
get rid of some of these damn humans.
yeah, and
So the general in this one
Woody
kind of
Harrelson.
surprised me. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I didn't know
cast
he was
Woody
in this
Harrelson.
movie.
Yeah. So it sounds like It sounds like humanity's kind of gotten a foothold back.
Yeah.
And they're pushing the apes. They're get out of here. So Caesar, he's had enough. He wanted that kind of like co-habitual, like
Yeah.
humans and apes can live together. Doesn't look like it's happening.
Things
So
don't pan out, I don't think.
it's looking like something's coming down hard.
And I guaranteed some of the most amazing special effects you've ever seen in a movie is any of the Planet of the Apes movies. The way they did the motion capture,
Yeah.
and Andy Serkis, the motion capture king. Check out the first two Planet of the Apes
Mm-hmm.
and get excited for the third because it's not going to be bad.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Oh, another stamp of
Another
approval.
stamp of approval from Mr. Curtis Nash here. Now it's on to our last little look ahead here.
Yeah.
The movie we're looking forward to
Most
the
overall.
most.
Yeah, for me, like, I would like to go venture off the beaten path and say that it wasn't a comic book, but it's not. I can't say that. I'd be lying. For me, my most anticipated is Justice League.
I knew it.
Yeah. So, like we kind of touched on, with Jeff Johns helming the DC cinematic universe. Jeff Johns, he's a writer. He's been a writer for DC forever. He's, the top guy. Like he's the one in DC. He's Neo. So, so he came in and he's kind of said, he's taking the ship. He's putting it back on course. Like Kurt said, we have Wonder Woman, we have Justice League this year. You're going to see 2 different DC movies than Batman vs. Superman
And
Suicide Squad. For me, this is it. This is my Avengers.
If you see the trailer, it looks funny.
Yeah.
The way they interact with each other, which is good finally.
Yeah.
And I am very intrigued how because they're doing the exact opposite almost of what Marvel did.
I know, but to do the exact same thing of Marvel, do you do the exact same thing and then
That's
you
why
just get pegged? Oh, well, you just
copied Marvel.
No, like you want to do it your own way, but with Marvel has like their winning formula.
Yeah, to introduce characters that haven't had their own standalone movie might be risky, but it also might be good because we can see now I can't wait to see Aquaman's movie.
Right.
Now I can't wait to see Flash's movie.
Yeah.
I think and Cyborg's movie as well. And rumor has it, maybe Green Lantern might be in this one. And if anybody deserves redemption, it's the Green Lantern.
It's my boy, Hal Jordan.
That's his favorite is the Green Lanterns. I'm also looking forward to Justice League.
Well, is this on the list? Did we already talk about this movie? For
My
you?
pick?
Yeah.
Oh no.
See?
I didn't need to look at the list. It just went. I know what it is already. It's got to be Episode 8. It's got to be.
Star Wars was on my list. It was, but I wasn't gonna pick it. I knew. We
I was
would
gonna pick
be
it.
talking about it.
Oh, guaranteed we're 2 of the biggest Star Wars fans you've ever seen. I love everything to do with Star Wars.
Yeah.
I read all the comic books.
All the
we,
books.
We read all the
novels.
books.
We watch the TV shows.
We watch the TV shows. Anything in the Star Wars universe, I am a fan. It is my most favorite thing in the world is Star Wars.
Yeah.
So to see Star Wars coming back every year is just like the greatest thing ever announced when Disney took it over.
Yeah. Luke Skywalker, lightsaber. We haven't seen that since Episode 6.
That's insane. That's insane to me.
Do you realize it's coming, people, next year, 2017?
2017, sure, it's exactly pretty much a year from when
Right
you're
now.
watching this.
Right.
It'll be out. But I hope we get into the mysteries. I hope we get to see things like who Rey's parents are.
Yep.
Maybe we'll see who Supreme Leader Snoke is. We don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so looking forward to it. I think Disney did the smart thing on buying this franchise, just like Marvel did the smart thing of selling, because Disney's done a fantastic job with them as well.
Yep.
And Star Wars is in the right place.
You can't have enough Star Wars.
Exactly.
You can't.
have enough Star Wars in your life. That's the one thing. You just cannot have enough Star Wars in your life.
Just give me more.
I can't believe I used to have to wait 3 years in between movies, and now I only have to wait a year. It's a good day to be a nerd. Let me tell you,
Life has
friends.
gotten good.
Life has gotten good for us nerds. And that's a wrap of our year-end show.
Ooh.
We look back at our favorites 2016. Hopefully gave you a good enough taste of what's coming out in 2017 to get you excited as well. And don't forget, we're here every week on Facebook, YouTube, at Real Review 00. We review movies every week, and every week we have prizes to give away.
Yeah.
So not only are you entertained, but you get to win free stuff.
Yeah.
And you get to know what movies to go see and what movies not to go see. So check us out every week on Facebook at Real Reviews 00. It's so easy to find us. And thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your holiday season, people. No, we're not centered. Jeez Louise.
There we go.
Are you in the biz? Are you setting this up?
Look at all. Oh man, viewers are in for a
That
treat.
looks ridiculous.
Oh, that's how it should be every time.
Oh, God. Such a diva. Diva. Where's my cucumber water? Let's do it together. All right.
Little face rub.
Space rub, but a karate chop.
I don't need this arm in there.
There's more room on my side.
I like having more of this for the viewer.
I like having more of this for the viewer. Poe would agree.